The room was dimly lit, the single light bulb swinging slightly from the ceiling, casting eerie shadows on the concrete walls. A man bound to a chair with thick ropes trembled in fear as blood trickled down his face from a fresh wound. He dared not to look up, and his body racked with pain and terror. Jungkook was standing on the center, while his eyes fixed on that man. His eyes showed no other emotions except coldness. Everyone knows how heartless and cruel he is. He shows no mercy, especially to those who betrayed him. You think you can betray me and get away with it? Jungkook's voice was low and dangerous. The man shook his head frantically, trying to speak through the gag in his mouth. Jungkook nodded to one of his men, who immediately removed the gag. The bound man gasped for breath. His voice was hoarse and trembling. Please, Mr. John, I didn't mean to. Save your excuses, I have no time for lies, he said, cutting him off. Please, it was a mistake, I swear I won't do it again, he pleaded while his tears mixed with the blood on his face. Jungkook's eyes narrowed. A mistake? You sold information to my enemies. That's not a mistake, that's a death wish. I needed the money, my family, the man said, crying. Your family. You should have thought about them before betraying me. I'm sorry, I'll do anything to make it right. Just please spare me. Jungkook stepped closer, a glint of metal appearing in his hand. A silver knife, its blade sharp and menacing, caught the light as he lifted it. You will serve as an example. The man's eyes widened in horror. No, please, Jungkook pressed the blade against the man's cheek, a thin line of blood appearing as he dragged it slowly across the skin. The man screamed, his voice echoing off the walls. Let this be a lesson to anyone who thinks they can cross me. Betrayal is met with only one consequences, he said coldly, and the next thing everyone heard in the basement was the last screams of that man. Jungkook handed the knife to one of his men, who quickly cleaned it and returned it to its sheath. Dispose of him, Jungkook ordered. His expressions were unchanged. As he turned on his heels and walked out of the room, his right-hand man spoke. Boss, what's next? Jungkook glanced at him while his gaze icy. We have businesses to attend to. There's no room for mistake. You walked into your luxurious home, the weight of a long day at the office finally lifting as you stalked through the door. The house was quiet, but familiar scent of lavender, your favorite, filled the air. You smiled to yourself, knowing Jungkook must already be home. As you made your way into the living room, you saw him sitting on the couch. His eyes lightened up the moment he saw you. He immediately stood up and extended his arms, a wide grin spreading across his face. Welcome home, love, you chuckled. Thank you, my dear husband, you said, walking into his embrace, and drop everything from your hands once you feel the warmth and comfort of his embrace. Jungkook grabbed his arms around you, pulling you close. He nuzzled his face into your neck, inhaling deeply. I missed you. You laughed softly, running your fingers through his hair. Really? You get time to think about me despite of your work? He pulled back and pouted like a cute baby. I always do. You are the one. I doubt that if you even remember that your husband is waiting for you. That's why you didn't even say that you missed me too. You laughed at his cuteness. Isn't it obvious that I will miss my husband, who is always like a baby in front of me? You said, pinching his cheek lightly, and then kissed it. He again hugged you tightly. What do you mean by in front of you? I'm like this only. You laughed. Yeah, I know very well. Do all the people who work for you see this side of you all the time? This is for you only. Only my wife deserves to see the real me. He said, placing a kiss on your neck, making you smile. Well, I'm here now. What do you want to do? His eyes sparkled with excitement. Let's watch a movie and cuddle. I already made popcorn. You laughed again, loving how adorable he could be. Alright, but I need to change first. He nodded eagerly, taking your hand and leading you towards the bedroom. Hurry, I'll set everything up. You came back after changing your clothes and noticed how beautiful your husband has set up everything. No matter how busy he is, he never made excuses when he has to spend time with his wife. It's been 2 years since you guys are together and you have his whole heart. He smiled when he saw you coming and walked towards you. Is it good? You smiled and wrapped your arms around his neck. It's beautiful. He smiled and lifted you up before walking towards the couch and then gently made you sit on it while your arms still wrapped around him. Your faces were just inches away. How about we make our own movie instead of watching one? You chuckled softly. Oh, so now I understood your true intentions behind all this hard work. He smiled. I like making every moment special for my beautiful wife. Plus, I hate that we get only some countable hours to spend together. You caressed his cheek as your heart swelled with love. You could see a pure and genuine love in his eyes. Eyes that holds no emotions except darkness most of the time are always filled with love and admiration for you. He leaned into your touch while his eyes locked with you. Even if it's just a few hours, I'm happy because every moment we spend together is filled with love. You make everything worth it, Ryan. Every second away from you feels like an eternity. But when I'm with you, time just stops. You smile while your fingers tracing the lines of his jaw, and I wouldn't trade these moments for anything in the world. No matter how short they may be, they are the best part of my day. He leaned in closer while his lips brushed against yours. I promise to always make you feel loved, no matter how little time we have. You closed the distance, kissing him softly. You already do, Jungkook, more than you know. Jungkook pulled you closer by your waist and was about to deepen the kiss when his phone started ringing, making him clench his jaw tightly. How can I forget to put this on silent? Receive it, Jungkook. He shook his head. I'm not answering it. I'm sorry for the disturbance. He again leaned in to continue the kiss, but you put a gentle hand on his chest, stopping him. Jungkook, you should answer it. It might be important. He sighed again, pulling out his phone. Fine. He frowned, looking at the screen. Seeing Mark's name, he knew he couldn't ignore it. He walked at a distance. Why do you always disturb at the exact scene? Mark got a little confused. What scene, boss? Tell me why you called. His voice changed into cold, a side you know he has but never really witnessed because Jungkook never let you see. He watched his face closely, seeing the tension build as he listened. Whatever Mark was saying, it was important and not good news. Jungkook's jaw tightened and his eyes darkened. Are you sure? Alright, I'll handle it. Keep me updated. He ended the call and took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. Is everything alright? He asked concerningly. He turned towards you while his eyes softened again. I'm sorry, Ryan. I need to take care of something. You placed a comforting hand on his arm. It's okay, Jungkook. I understand. I hate that our time together gets interrupted like this. You smile gently. It's part of who you are and I accept that we'll have our time. He nodded, pulling you into a quick but intense kiss. I love you. I'll be back as soon as I can. I love you too. Be careful, you said while your voice filled with concern. The night passed, but Jungkook didn't come back. Thinking that he must have been stuck in work, you went to sleep, and the next morning when you woke up and went to work, you were feeling uneasy as if something bad is going to happen. So you came back home and waited for him. You tried to call him, but his phone was switched off. Now almost a whole day was about to pass and you heard nothing from Jungkook. You started to feel uneasy. You dialed the numbers of his gang members that you know. It's me, Ryan. Can I talk to Jungkook? He's not answering his phone. They seemed to get a bit nervous when they heard your voice. Can I ask what's happening there? Have you heard from Jungkook? No, ma'am, he's on a mission. He replied, but you could sense a hesitation. You called another and another, but the answer was always the same. He's on a mission. By evening, your worry turned into sheer panic. You could barely focus on anything else, your mind racing with worst case scenarios. Finally, you dialed Mark's number once again. Mark, please, I need to know what's going on. You pleaded, your voice trembling. Mark's sigh was audible through the phone. He could not see you like this anymore. I'm sorry, Ryan, but I can't. Mark, he's my husband. I need to know. Do you even know how worried I am? Please, I'm begging you, tell me where he is. There was a long pause before he finally spoke again. Alright, meet me at the old warehouse on 5th Street. I'll explain everything. The call ended and a tear left from your eyes as you knew something was off. Nothing will going to happen to my Jungkook. You immediately rushed outside grabbing your car keys. You finally stopped your car in front of the warehouse and ran inside. You saw Mark waiting for you. His expressions were serious and softer than usual. You came near him. What happened to Jungkook? Where is he? Your voice trembled while Mark looked at you. He hesitated a little before speaking. Boss, he got shot during the mission. He's been getting treatment here. He didn't want you to see him like this and ordered everyone not to tell you. Your heart dropped and you stumbled on your feet as tears built in your eyes. Ryan, don't panic. He's alright now. You looked at him. Where is he? Mark led you to a back room where Jungkook was laying on a makeshift bed, his shoulder heavily bandaged while he looked pale, but his eyes lit up when he saw you. Ryan, he was surprised to see you there. You rushed to his side while tears streaming down your cheeks as you couldn't see your love in this condition. Jungkook, why didn't you tell me? He winced both from pain and seeing you so distressed. I didn't want you to worry. He looked at the Mark, who lowered his eyes because Jungkook told everyone not to tell you, but he didn't able to see your condition and told you everything. Your anger flared, mixed with relief. Worry? Do you have any idea how terrified I was? You can't just keep things like this from me. His eyes softened, seeing you worried like this would be the last thing he wanna see. He hates bringing tears in your eyes. I'm sorry, I thought it would be better if you didn't know. You cupped his face while your voice was breaking. I was worried sick. I thought I'd lost you. He reached up, his hands trembled as he tried to wipe your tears. I'm sorry, I didn't want you to see me like this. You took a deep breath, trying to calm yourself. Jungkook, you can't protect me by shutting me out. We are in this together, remember. His eyes softened, and for the first time his men saw a side of him they had never seen before. I love you. I love you too, you said, placing a gentle kiss on his forehead while his men exchanged glances at each other, surprised at how he's completely different man in front of the love of his life. Mark smiled, seeing at least Jungkook has someone in his life who means his world. He pulled back a little and saw his chest covered with bandages. Look at all these bandages. How could you be so careless? Getting hit by a bullet? Are you trying to make me go crazy? Jungkook's face flushed with a little embarrassment as you started to scold him when his men were all there. Why and I shut up. Is this how weak you are now? You think you can handle everything alone without telling me? He looked at you surprised while his men trying to control their smiles. He glanced around at the men in the room, a slight blush coloring his cheeks. Why and everyone is watching us? You crossed your arms. Let them watch. They should see how their mighty boss can't even dodge a bullet. Mark pressed his lips together as he was unable to control his smile. Wyan, they tricked me. Everyone knows how good I am. You rolled your eyes, clearly unimpressed. Yeah, that's why you are laying here on this bed getting treated so much for being invincible. He looked at his man. Yeah, you have not seen or heard anything, okay? Stop smiling or else. Or else what? Stop showing attitude to them. They are taking care of you. Others realize that no matter how powerful you are, you cannot do anything in front of your favorite woman. Okay, fine, I get it. I'll be careful. You better be careful or else I'll leave you. As he sat by his side, holding his hand, Mark and the others looked on, clearly moved by the scene. Jungkook, the ruthless mafia boss they feared and respected, was just a man deeply in love with his wife. Mark stepped forward, clearing his throat. He's going to be okay, Ryan. The bullet missed any vital organs. He just needs time to heal. You nodded, squeezing Jungkook's hand. Thank you, Mark, and thank you all for taking care of him. Jungkook looked at him. You seems to be more loyal to my wife than me, huh? Mark blinked while he looked at him. So what? If you'll order everyone not to tell me anything, do you think I won't find out? You said, glaring at him while he smiled awkwardly. When did I say anything, love? In fact, from now on, I will allow my man to give you all the information, even about our secret plans. I hope that works. You knew he's teasing you. Jungkook looked at his man, his voice firm despite his condition. She's my wife. From now on, she knows everything, no more secrets. The man nodded in agreement, clearly affected by the display of love and devotion they had just witnessed. As the room cleared, leaving you alone with Jungkook, you kissed his hand, your heart full of relief and love. I was so scared. Promise you'll not put yourself in this situation again. He smiled and nodded before pulling you into a hug, but you stopped him. Careful, you are hurt there. He chuckled and pulled you closer into a hug while you make sure you don't touch the side he got hit. I don't need to worry about anything when you are with me. Actually, you should start taking it seriously. I won't see you like this again and again. He nodded while closing his eyes, feeling you close.